I think most of the people involved in the legal system can't be said to be intending all of the horrific things that that legal system is ultimately doing. I don't think it's fair to say that every single cop intends a system where the United States is jailing black people at 6 times the rate of South Africa at the height of apartheid. This massive system is the result of millions and millions and millions of little incentives and choices. And it's not that any one person fully intends everything that it's doing or is responsible for it. The same is true of individual journalists. I don't think it's true that every single journalist at NBC News or the New York Times or whatever fully intends the scope of the propaganda that these institutions end up perpetrating. So I think it's much more helpful to take a step back and develop a critical ability to consume the news, to understand what biases are inherent in the way the news is covered, even if they're unintentional, or even if they are happening at a level high up and not at the level of the individual cop or the individual journalist. So questions like what stories are even considered news and what stories are never told? Whose harm to which people is treated as nightly news? So questions like what is the volume of news coverage, right? Which stories get treatment as a single investigative story, and which stories get 4, 5, 600 articles in outlet after outlet, city after city, every single day, right? So which sources are quoted in these articles, which language is used. These patterns are often happening unintentionally. They're often happening through a complex set of processes that are intentional, but maybe not intended in the way that they end up manifesting. So for me, it much better than asking the subjective question like, does this prison guard support all of the sexual assault that's being happening in this prison facility? The better question to ask is, what are the mechanisms and processes by which a society tolerates so much sexual assault in jails and prisons, for example? And you can analyze these questions across the spectrum of the criminal legal system. And I think it's a better way than attacking individual people